the Bob Mills Weather Center, the Oklahoma weather expert, Travis Meyer.
Oh, the weather this time of year can be pretty wild. We just had the story with the Ledbetter family down in Okmulgee County and also down in Council Hill, which is south of Muskogee. Leon, a friend, just started cutting his wheat. Just did a test cut today. Said it was pretty dry. He said, would like it not to rain for a little bit. So you can see his combine, and then he had, that's wheat on top of there. He said it was full. Well, we were full of hail during the course of the afternoon. This is from the Tulsa Hills area and on the south side of Tulsa. And Elaine sent this in on our Facebook Messenger. She said, oh my goodness. So we had about 20 minutes of hail falling. Said it was crazy. And so again, it was just really heavy thunderstorm. So that was our severe thunderstorm when it was moving through Tulsa. We were about the only place that had it. Everything else kind of had died down. Earlier in the afternoon, though, we did have some strong to severe thunderstorms. Some of those were up around the Bartlesville area and extending in northeastern Osage County, southwest of Coffeyville. Then they developed a little bit closer in. In fact, this is the way it looked at right around 6:16. We had a few thunderstorms that had just gone through Inola, and then heavy thunderstorms developed right into areas around Bixby. We're going to put this into motion. You'll be able to see how this just kind of blew up in this area, and then also just on the east side of Tulsa Hills. And then we had another one that was just near Sapulpa, but the Tulsa Hills area just continued to grow, and then the other side down to the south started to fall apart. As that was falling apart, this built back north and had hail associated with that for quite a while before it finally started to die down. So it was a pretty big deal, causing a lot of problems, a lot of heavy rain in isolated areas, over 2 inches in a few locations. Some of that is mixed in with some hail, so it's not totally accurate, but we do know that over 2 inches of rain fell in a short period of time. Here was the bad side. If we could have had those thunderstorms just about 3 or 4 hours earlier, we would not have had the problem we had today. Ozone was horrible from Tulsa to the north on our reading on the north side of town, 154. We had a very light east to southeast wind, so I was blowing a lot of pollutants back to the west to the northwest, and so our numbers went up past the Skytook as well. So we were getting into some dangerous territory when you get up into here, because that is unhealthy air to be breathing, especially if you have any breathing issues. So we ended up with a thunderstorm, so that's knocked us back down to normal readings around here. So that's good news, but now we probably won't have thunderstorms tomorrow, but we do have an ozone alert in effect for tomorrow. Our temperatures are in the 70s, 60s, where we had some of the heavier rain, 65 in Jinx and Sapulpa. And you look across most of eastern Oklahoma, we're upper 60s and 70s, really across almost the entire state, 60s to near 70. Not much happening tonight. Any high plain showers and storms will be out to the west in the panhandles. For tomorrow morning will be in the 60s. As we go through the daytime hours tomorrow, upper 80s to near 90. Again, not as many thunderstorms, but it's just like if you're underneath one, you're going to know about it because they don't move very far, very fast. On Thursday, most of us won't have too much going on. It'll be 60s in the morning, but there's like a boundary that we think, a lot of our models are giving us some idea that that's going to be something happening right along Tulsa area, maybe up in Osage County, Bartlesville, Tulsa, Muskogee, and then a few of those will be drifting southeast. We'll be in the upper 80s to near 90, so there is a narrow band someplace going to set up, but most of our models are just kind of saying a little further northeast, a little further southwest. All right, 60s on Friday morning, get us on in toward the weekend. 80s, don't forget Tulsa Tough going on this weekend. Temperatures will be okay, but there is a chance of a few thunderstorms late Friday afternoon, and again into our weekend for Tulsa Tough. But overall, temperatures are going to be pretty decent, because the biggest problem right now is the fact that it's not bad, it's going to be nice. It's next week when it should be hot and pretty nasty. Average high is mid to upper 80s. We're going to be about 10 degrees hotter than that, and you do the math, and all of a sudden it's like, holy moly, that's not good. Ozone alert in effect for tomorrow. 80s at noontime, muggy, stuffy. 90 in the afternoon. Some heat index values probably pushing well into the upper 90s. And then as you see, a slight chance of storm tomorrow. Not too worried about that. Wish we'd have one, knock out the ozone, but unfortunately that ozone alert is for tomorrow. And then next week you can start to see creeping up as we get into later next week as summer starts to move in.